As the Israel Defense Forces move deeper into the Gaza Strip, the full scale of the complexity and unpredictability of the current fighting becomes clear. Experts of Western analytical centers are admitting with horror that the level of resistance of the Palestinian militants began to increase rapidly as the conflict with Israel drags on. While the Israeli military leadership was focused on the fighting in the Gaza Strip, the Israel Defense Forces received a powerful blow from the second enclave on the west bank of the Jordan River. So, it became known that well-armed Palestinian groups began to launch powerful strikes on the Israel Defense Forces. It is reported that the Israeli army began to be subjected to massive strikes by three powerful groups, the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades, the Al-Quds Brigades, and the Al-Qassam Brigades. At the same time, it is worth noting that before the Israeli invasion of the Gaza Strip, these Palestinian groups were scattered and did not maintain any ties with each other. However, against the backdrop of Israel's invasion of the Gaza Strip, the former rivals decided to unite against a common enemy. Experts of the American Military Analytical Project, the Critical Threats, stated with horror that the unification of former rivals in the fight against Israel is an alarming sign for Tel Aviv, and that as the intensity and brutality of the fighting increases, this anti-Israeli coalition will only increase the number of its participants. Meanwhile, war correspondents report that in the west bank of the Jordan River, the number of attacks on the Israeli army has increased rapidly. It is noted that most of all, the Israeli army is being attacked in the vicinity of the largest Palestinian cities, Tulkarm and Jenin. According to war correspondents, on November 7th, the largest battle of the entire time of the Palestinian-Israeli confrontation took place in the northeastern part of the city of Tulkarm. It is reported that the Palestinian forces attacked the units of the Israel Defense Forces from two directions at once. According to preliminary data, the fight lasted more than 8 hours. At the same time, representatives of the Israeli army, as always, refused to comment on the losses of the Israeli side. Given the fact that Palestinian militants in the west bank of the Jordan River are armed with a large number of small arms, including anti-tank guided missiles and drones of various types, the losses of the Israel Defense Forces in manpower and heavy equipment can be very tangible. At the same time, it is worth noting that the weapons of Palestinian militants in the Gaza Strip itself are even considered one of the most powerful and diverse in the region. According to preliminary data, Palestinians in the Gaza Strip are armed with tens of thousands of handheld anti-tank grenade launchers, anti-tank guided missiles, man-portable air defense missile systems, and even kamikaze drones. At the same time, American experts from the Military Analytical Project, the Critical Threats, admit that the Israel Defense Forces are completely bogged down in the confrontation with Hamas. According to them, Hamas militants are using quite successful guerrilla warfare tactics against Israeli soldiers, inflicting sensitive bites along the entire front line. Experts note that the Palestinians are quite successfully using the narrow streets of large settlements to disable heavy equipment of the Israel Defense Forces. In such conditions, Israeli tanks turned out to be completely powerless. Meanwhile, the chair of urban warfare studies at the Modern War Institute, John Spencer, declared that Israel would not be able to achieve its goals in the Gaza Strip. According to him, Israel launched an invasion of the Gaza Strip guided by a desire for revenge. All we are seeing now is a poorly prepared Israeli military operation against Hamas militants. That is why so many Palestinian women and children have been killed during the whole time of clashes, while Hamas itself has not even suffered. Israel will not be able to destroy Hamas and achieve all its goals, as Tel Aviv is blinded by revenge and the desire for blood, John Spencer said. Meanwhile, the concern of the United States against the background of the problems of the Israel Defense Forces is growing every day. The White House even sent American generals to Israel to help their Israeli colleagues in their offensive actions. According to numerous sources in the White House, the United States is concerned about the fact that Israel still does not have a clear plan of action and military strategy. Washington is very afraid that Israel's reckless actions will force the United States to get bogged down in this conflict for many years.